There we go. Hi, Yasmin.
Hi, Mandy.
Okay, so Yasmin, you've been on the diet now since the 29th of September.
Correct.
How much have you lost?
40 kilos now.
Okay, what's the date today?
So the date is 26th of February?
27th
of February.
Excellent. So you lost 40 kilo. What's your ultimate goal?
My ultimate goal is to get down to 60 kilos, which will be a 90 kilo weight loss.
Excellent, well done.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
What was the catalyst? What was it made you decide that this is the diet?
I basically tried every other diet over the last 15 years, and I had a little bit of success, but nothing long term and nothing that got all of the weight off completely. So I met somebody who had done Cambridge, and he had just started, but he was feeling really good, and the weight was falling off really quickly. And I think I just had a moment where I realised this could be it. And I was starting to get really concerned about my health. I was having chest pain. I was starting to really struggle to get around, and I started to get concerned that I could actually die from being so overweight. So it was really timely, me meeting him, because he just spoke about Cambridge in such a positive way, and the support that he was given by his consultant, that I thought I may have one more attempt at me, one more crack. I don't know, had this not have worked, if I could have gone on to believe for another diet to work. So I felt like I've got one more crack in me, I'm going to give it a go, and that was kind of the catalyst for me starting and ringing you that day.
Excellent. Now, you're 38.
Yes.
You've got
39 now.
39? Oh my
I'm
word.
40 in December.
Okay.
And I'll be slim.
Of course you will be. Very slim. It'll be exciting in December this year. Now, you've got two children.
Yes.
And a husband at home, and you work full time as well.
Yes, I do.
So you've got a busy lifestyle.
We do. And yeah, my daughter's 10 and my son's 13, and we have busy lives, just between us individually and us as a family. And
So how are you feeling today after 40 kilos?
I feel like I have a future in front of me now. It's very hard to articulate, because it hasn't been a long stretch of time. It's only been about, say 5 months. So in 5 months I've had to really shift my thinking. Little things like, I see a gap between two cars and I think I can't fit through that gap. Oh, I can fit through the gap. So even down to those little day-to-day moments that I experience, through to the big defining moments with chats with my children and my family and my friends, I feel like I have a life in front of me, and a good life, and a healthy life, and an active life that really I hadn't dared to dream for until now.
Wonderful. Now, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you in the last, whilst you've been overweight, obviously?
At my biggest, I didn't fit into the seatbelt in the aeroplane. That definitely helped me ring you that day, because I hadn't long returned from a holiday to New Zealand, and although I've been overweight for many years, that was the first trip that I'd actually done where I had to ask for an extender seatbelt, and I did it so quietly because I was so embarrassed. And I was sitting next to the children, and they were so sweet and so gracious, like, "Oh, Mum, we'll ask for you. We'll ask for the seatbelt." And I was like, "No, I'll do it." Like I just felt terrible that it had somehow even flown over to affecting them. And they weren't embarrassed, but I was so embarrassed to have to ask for that. And then the hostess was like, "Sure, I'll get you one," and she walked back down the plane with this seatbelt, and you only have those when you have an infant. Well, and clearly I didn't have an infant, so it was obvious it was because I couldn't fit the seatbelt of the aeroplane. And it was getting to the point where even crowding the seat next to me to travel without my children was just an absolute terrifying experience, because what happens if I sit next to a person and I'm encroaching on their space? So that, for me, there were many embarrassing moments, from falling over, from just not being very measured about what seats I chose to sit in case they wouldn't hold me, through to hopping in someone's car and not fitting the seatbelt, always being concerned about whether I'd fit the seatbelt. Suddenly, those normal things that you would not normally think about became critical to me, and so all of those things I just found incredibly humiliating and quite confronting.
How are your family and your friends supporting you at this time?
Oh, so good. I'm very blessed with incredible support, and my family are really excited because they're getting mum back, or actually not mum back, mum for the first time actually, because as my son's only 13 and I've been overweight for about 15 years, so he's never known me as someone who could be actively involved in his life. And so they're getting mum, or learning who the new mum is, and my friends are just fantastic, such a wonderful source of encouragement. It's daily, the encouragement I get, and my husband's been fantastic as well, so he'd do anything to help me succeed this time.
One of the things I've noticed, of course, Jasmine, that every week you come, you turn up. You've never not turned up, ever.
True.
So
true.
What does that do for you by turning up?
It's accountability for me. And I think something I identified really early on in this journey was that I'd never really been held accountable in any other diet that I'd done. Even a Weight Watchers meeting, I can not turn up, and I have to pay a bit of extra money the next time, but no one is going to hold me to account for that. And so your support that you've given me has been invaluable, and I know that when all of this weight comes off, it'll be because of a team effort, not because of just everything I've done, but it's a journey that we've taken together. And turning up when I know that I haven't felt as though I've lost as much weight, they're the times when I need to come, because that's when you sit here and say, keep going, you're doing great, look, the inches are coming off. And so it's that kind of encouragement and accountability that I think has kept me on track for 5 months.
That's brilliant. Now, you've told me some funny stories over the last few weeks, particularly about work, about your work colleagues, because obviously you work in a big department, and people have seen you shrink week after week.
They have. They have. It's quite funny, because every Wednesday I come and weigh in and get measured, and I tell them I'm going to whale watch. So it's become a standing joke with us that Wednesdays is whale watch day. So I'll say, okay, I'm off to whale watch, and I'll head out the door. And today a guy on my team said to me, oh, we need to rename it. We need to maybe call it Dolphin Watch because you're not like a whale anymore. And it was just really sweet. Like, they're really great. And we have some good laughs about it, which is really good. It keeps it, I guess, light and not so serious.
That's right. Now, recently I sent you some photos of 3 photos. One at the beginning weight, 20 kilos and 40 kilo loss.
Yes.
What did you think about that when I sent you those?
It's a happy, sad moment when I open those files, because it's so confronting to look at myself at 150 kilos. I can't even articulate how I feel when I see that. I feel relief because I'm on the journey now and I'm not that size anymore. And I feel angry that I allowed myself to get to that size. And I feel embarrassed that I was walking around like that. And I feel, and I've said this to you before, but I never looked at myself in a full-length mirror. I would do what I would call the neck up check. So I would get dressed in my bedroom, and then I'd go into the bathroom and I'd do my hair and my makeup, and I would check myself from the neck up. And so to see that photograph of me at that size for the first time was the first time I'd literally laid eyes on a full-length image of myself for many years, and I was just, it was so confronting to me.
Do you avoid photos then, normally?
Absolutely, yes. I'm often the photo taker. I'll be the one that says, I'll take the picture, you stand in the group. Or I'm very strategic about where I'll stand. And that's just such a, it's not even a true, it's not even correct thinking, because when you look at photos, it doesn't matter where I stand. I'm big no matter whether I'm in the back or the front or squashed in next to someone or standing with my arms to try and appear smaller than I am. And the reality was they were just survival things that I put in place to be okay on some level with being that size, but definitely avoid photos. Okay. Absolutely.
Now, if someone was watching this little video that we've made today and debating whether to contact me or Cambridge,
yes,
what would you say?
I'd say you can't afford not to, I think is what I'd say. I can absolutely say this program and your support and the support of those in my life and my faith has absolutely saved my life. So anybody contemplating it, at the very least, pick up the phone and call a consultant who can answer any questions and perhaps encourage the person to take the next step. And that's what you did for me. When I rang you, I wasn't convinced that I was going to start. I had a few questions, but after speaking to you, it was like I couldn't afford not to do it. I owed it to everybody in my life to give it a go.
Excellent. So you're quite happy to do another little video in another 20 kilos?
Of course, I'll be very excited to do that.
Oh, brilliant. Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for being such a wonderful client as well.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.